Things that just shouldn't fly with your kids. Because when they get older, I'm telling you what, your grandbabies are going to have a problem. They're going to grow up. So a mother has mercy, meekness, which is controlled strength. She is always for others. She's selfless. That's the basic concept of motherhood. She has tenderness, tears, and truth. She is full of heart, gives a hand, and full of helpfulness. She endeavors, has endurance and enthusiasm, and knows about righteousness, reconciliation, and restoration. Who does? A mother does. Most of this stuff is just innate. At birth, the little girl has a lot of this stuff. Things are written on her heart already. Little girls get up if it's in a natural, I said natural environment. They want to have a little baby down. Do this number. And the boys get up looking for sticks to make guns. What effeminizes? What makes a boy effeminate? Don't play with them guns. Don't play with them guns, son. Don't do that. What are you doing? That's evil. That's evil. You're already taking the soldier out of the boy, the leadership out of the boy. Mother's not doing a favor to a child like that. She's ruining that boy. She's making that boy into a little girl. It'd do well for people to get the different reference books back in the 70s of psychological problems and solutions and stuff. They have books out there in the 70s, even early 80s. And you should see how they rewrote everything. Politically correctness. But how they went just from natural, which is what you would do when you would study something naturally in its environment, and you would take notes and you'd say, this produces this. And then it's a constant. And you go back and all of a sudden they just switch everything around now. And the kids that are growing up now have no idea, iota, about what nature really produces. Politically correctness has killed us. Hasn't helped at all. When I grew up, there was Polak jokes, Mexican jokes, Jewish jokes. Now it's hate literature. You're demoting. No, everybody did it. They had thick enough skin, they laughed at themselves. Can't do that anymore. Social virtues have their start in the home. How about patriotism, for example? Is but home loyalty extended to a larger circle. How many kids are loyal to their home? Honor their parents. Neighbor kids are doing this, that, and the other thing. How come the kids are brought up to rebel against their own parents and side with everybody else that's against their own parents and the rules? How come there's no loyalty in the home? Somebody's mother dropped the ball. I don't care what they're doing. Everybody's not doing it. Sis or junior. Yes, they are. No, they're not. Yes, sir. You back talking me? No, I'm not back talking you. But they are. No, they're not. Ask me why. Why? Because you're not doing it. So if you're not doing it, everybody ain't doing it. It used to be when they stand there and go like this, they do that once, that was it. Mama took care of business. And they were scared to death that Mama would tell Daddy about it, because then they get both barrels. Why? Because Mama and Daddy had a front that was strong. Mama didn't question Daddy in front of the kids. Mama reinforced everything when Daddy came home. And Daddy reinforced everything that Mama would tell him was going on. And when the kids grew up, they knew for sure it was a conspiracy against them. Now, that's okay. It's okay. You know your daddy. Come on. What happens? It's evident what's happening. The new ideas of sex go contrary to chastity. the quest for happiness against the old school idea of searching for character, which distinguished the makers of our land. Everything's opposite now. And you women know I'm telling the truth. When you can watch TV and you got your grandbabies there and all of a sudden they come up with feminine napkins and junk on TV, that ain't right. All this other kind of junk on TV. Your grandbabies are watching cartoons and boom, they're showing a Victoria's Secrets. What's up with that, Mama? That ought to infuriate you. If more women were infuriated, they'd be off the air. Because women buy all that stuff. Well, where's the character? Well, they need to have that knowledge. No, they don't. Knowledge. Little boys need all that feminine knowledge, do they? Something wrong with your head. It ain't screwed on right. They don't need that junk. That stuff a mother and a daughter used to talk about. When stuff came up and come around, the mother would instruct her daughter in that. Good night. And people don't understand the psychology that goes behind that, because these people have studies. They know about psychology. They're putting all this stuff on television. Everybody's getting fed. They're getting overloaded with information that they do not need. A mother is an anchored person. Not only does she have the anchor of her children, but she has the employment of caring for their needs. She has more variety in spite of all the monotony, more poetry in spite of all the prose, more remuneration in spite of all the inappreciation than any other worker in the world. Making a quote from Joseph Baker. If you don't know, Wesley was saved Methodist, amen? A Methodist church started because of him. But he goes on to say, John Wesley, whose parish was the world, and Charles, who left 5,000 hymns to cheer the human race, will sit enthroned in lordly seats when Christ rewards his own, but between the two, and higher than either, will be the throne chair of Mother Wesley. If you ever, every woman needs to read some of them Wesley books. Mrs. Wesley. You'd come under conviction. She wouldn't even let her kids cry when she spanked them. She said that they did something wrong, they deserved to get punished, and they better have enough control over their flesh. And you know what those guys did? Well, they did everything. Wrote hymns, read all the medical books. One wrestler was pastoring, was curing his people, man. He applied, I mean, to me, that's character and discipline. We are so far from that. But I'm just telling you, a mother did that. They say great leaders are because of great women behind them. I mean, if you kept having a woman smacking you all the time, saying you're stupid, hey, idiot, sit down. Hey, shut up, idiot. You know, we used to laugh at stuff like that back in the 50s, 60s, and some 70s. Now it's on television and everything else. Guys are just idiots. Stupid. We will rule. They'll be our slaves. We just use them every now and then when we need them. Let me remind you of something. Your name is a man's name. And if you go to a dictionary and try to make up a name, it's still going to be after a man's name. You can't get away from a man's name. It started with Adam to Eve. It's been that way ever since. You can use your maiden name, it's still after a man's name. Why? Because God set it up that way. You ain't getting away from it. You can buck and fight that thing all day long. But when you look at the fruit of it, what did you produce for society? What kind of citizens have you produced? What kind of husbands have you produced? Mothers have you produced? That's all in the hands of the mother, I'm telling you. She has that kid. She teaches them how to respect girls. She teaches them what to look at, what not to look at. Because she knows. It's intuitive. It's a great responsibility to be a mother. A mother's